We Never Learn is a slice-of-life harem anime released back in spring of 2019. It came right after another popular harem anime, Central Stunning, and I'm talking of course about the quintessential quintuplets. Many consider these two titles to be rather similar, given their premise. Some teenage boy is put in charge of teaching a bunch of attractive fellow female classmates, but the girls eventually develop feelings for their tutor. And that's it. That's the biggest similarity, and the main reason these two anime are often compared with each other. Well, I guess it is fair to put them together, as most harem anime out there usually rely heavily on action to properly develop the katas. Here, however, the story is based on clever writing and well-timed comedic moments to keep the audience engaged till the end. Thankfully, We Never Learn is a cohesive and well-structured show that gives just the right amount of screen time to each of the girls and constantly keeps the story engaging by adding numerous obstacles and misunderstandings between the protagonist and his harem. I gotta address the kata design for a moment. While I'm a fan of the standard shonen art style the majority of harem have opted for, I do appreciate the somewhat different look of this anime. At first I was reluctant to give it a try, but consider the fact that this is a harem after all. I felt honor-bound to at least give it a try, and I'm glad I did. It is one of the better entries in the harem genre to this date. Wasn't expecting to like this anime so much, yet its charm and innocence won me over. It is nice to see some teenagers awkwardly interact with each other, also trying to actually learn something while spending time together. What I appreciate the most is how We Never Learn relies mainly on dialogue to further story and character development. You know, for someone socially awkward like me, seeing some random guy have the courage to approach or even form friendships with so many girls, it's a refreshing and heartwarming experience. And this time the protagonist ain't some insecure little boy, or a comically overpowered badass, or some extreme pervert, but more or less a normal, study-focused, average-looking teenager. The show managed to make it work, even by choosing not to rely heavily on archetypes, which is great. It feels like a somewhat new experience for me to enjoy. Also, We Never Learn is primarily focused on the girls from the harem, not as much on the feelings and wishes of the protagonist. This worked rather well, as main character is the reason all these girls are standing together, but not the main motive for their friendship. The way these girls interact with each other, it's fun and thematic, as each one of them has something meaningful to add to the conversation. It's mostly misunderstanding or personal dilemmas that take center stage within the story. The main narrative thread is all about learning and overcoming your weaknesses and anxieties, both in academics and personal life. The anime manages to make clever analogies between school life and society, so our girls have many obstacles to face on their journey of knowledge. Studying is a very nice way to track their progress, as they show improvement on their wanted subjects and in their social environment. The show alternates between one girl and her issues to another, sometimes even twice in one episode. I like this. It keeps the story concentrated and avoids stretching out sequences that otherwise would have stuttered the pace of the show. Where this particular anime distinguishes itself from the others is through the flawless way it changes perspective between characters. It is way more interesting when you know what the girls and the harem king are thinking, but they're trying to make out most of an awkward situation. A lot of the time is allocated for them to think about their words and actions, which makes it even funnier when they still behave irrationally and mess up whatever clever line or movement they have planned for the respective incident.
Mizuki, 今日はつけてるんだな。
Now let's get more specific and start with describing the main character. Naruyuki Yuiga is a senior high school student attending Ichinose Academy. His grades are above average in every single subject. He's more or less work rather than talent, which was just perfect for what the principal had in mind for him. In order to secure a university scholarship, Naruyuki was tasked with tutoring 3 female geniuses of different subjects. The catch of this whole deal is that two of the respected girls want to attend university on their weakest subject, although Fumino Furuhashi is a genius in literature.
現代文、古文、漢文においてトップをひた走る文学の森の眠り姫こと。
She scores horribly at mathematics, and yet despite constant pressure from teachers, she's determined to pursue mathematics at university. On the other hand, Rizu Ogata is a genius in mathematics, but terrible at literature, and despite how much people pressure her, yeah, you guessed it, she's focused on studying humanities. But wait, there's more.
数学物理において他の追随を許さない機械仕掛けの親指姫こと。
Uruka Takemoto is a prodigy in the athletic field, but dreadful at all other subjects, primarily English. Yeah, these are the girls the main kata is forced to work with. Not a bad deal. I mean, they're all beautiful young ladies. The only problem is how stubborn they are to pursue their ambition, despite improbable chances of success. Maybe that's what makes them fascinating. Although when it comes to Fumino, I can't very much understand her desire to study mathematics, given the fact that her father is a university teacher, and Uruka needs to improve her language skill, because she will eventually study abroad. I know their motivation is better, because I've also watched the second season, but as of now, the protagonist is overwhelmed by the situation at hand. He comes from an impoverished family, therefore the scholarship is the most probable way for him to have a future. What works in his favor, though, is that he's a hard worker and knows how hard it is to overcome any subject. Naruki has developed techniques and methods to use for studying, and now he has the opportunity to develop them with his harem. It was nice seeing him better himself on the subject. He was supposed to be tutoring for doing extended research.
平常心平常心
All that aside, the show is primarily a comedy. Even though Naruki is intelligent, he's extremely oblivious to the dramatic interest the other girls develop for him over the course of the series, which is the prime source of humor in this anime.
え
Let's talk about the ladies, my favorite subject. Fumiko is first, as she's my waifu. Is the most delicate feminine girl from the bunch. I just have a hot spot for insecure, timid, frail, and slender females, and Miss Furuhashi is the embodiment of these respective qualities. Sadly, it isn't clear if she has feelings for the main kata, as she often acts as Naruki's confidant whenever he encounters girls' troubles.
ねえ、いっそのこと本当に付き合っちゃう？
And does not use this opportunity to make a move on him, which is sad because she would be the best girl for Naruki to marry.
忘れて忘れて。
Rizu Ogata is next. She's the petite math genius who finds difficulty in understanding emotions, which inspire her decision to pursue a degree in psychology to overcome her own weaknesses. Even though I like her less than the other girls, she seems to be the favorite in winning Naruki's heart. I mean, she's the one that steals his first kiss after all, and she does have a nice pair of tits.
今見ましたね。
They spend the whole first episode of the second season talking about them, and you can't spend your time better than that.
いいになってしまいました。縮んだ？マジで？
Uruka Takemoto is a dark-skinned sports prodigy that slacks in every other subject. I like how she has stripes on her body from her swimsuit. You can see a clear definition of where she has exposed herself to the sun and where not. I guess this is a fetish of some kind, as I own a few sexy figurines that also have marks on their bodies from the swimsuits they supposedly used to wear. She seems to really like the main kata, as she constantly misinterprets his words and action into confession of love.
じゃ期待してるぜ輝いてるぜ好きだぜ
She has had a crush on Naruki since middle school, and she's constantly struggling to confess her feelings towards him. Sadly, I just found out that she's the one that will marry the protagonist, and not Fumiko. I guess I should have seen it coming after all. Not the female to introduce, when exactly part of the harem, but still is an important figure in Naruki's life. Mafuyu Kirisu is a teacher at Ichinosa Academy, and Reason Fumino's first tutor. She comes off as cold and calculated. She values discipline and is tough on her students. despite her professional demeanor at school, is a complete slob at home. I mean, her apartment is a complete mess, and Naruki usually ends up cleaning it. They start to develop a cute relationship, and Naruki often helps her out in her private life or even at school. Oh yeah, I forgot that the main character also has a sister, and in typical harem fashion, she seems to really like her brother. Oh yeah. The anime is going the incest route as well. Naruki might be poor, but with a sister like that, who cooks and offers her body to him, I doubt there's much left that he cannot enjoy. I give We Never Learn an 8.5 out of 10. I binge watched the whole show, guys. This is one of the better harem anime to this date.
何でも